What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Today I bring to you a Batman video. Now, I've never done a Batman video on my channel, so I decided, hey, why not? And I thought about it. Batman goes up against some of the craziest criminals and gods sometime, and I decided, hey, why not put Batman against horror slashers or horror icons? Or in other words, what are the chances of these slashers surviving Batman, because none of them are beating Batman? So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Coming in first, we have our boy Jason Voorhees. So I'm sure, as all of you know, Jason Voorhees is an absolute brutal, damn near unstoppable force of nature. But since we're doing Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th Part 4, he's still human, but still very durable, which is completely insane. So Batman would immediately recognize Jason's patterns, that he's not just a mindless killer, but a territorial hunter. Well, he kind of is a mindless killer, let's be real, but not really. He essentially kills anyone who tries to enter his territory, reacting purely on instinct. So if you kind of think about it, he's kind of like an animal. He's protecting his territory, so it makes sense. But that gives Batman an complete advantage. He can manipulate Jason's movements, leading him in exactly where he wants him. Because Batman isn't stupid. He wouldn't just engage Jason head on right away, because Jason is a complete maniac when it comes to 1v1s. But then again, Batman has gone up against Bane, so it's like, is he really that strong? Well, he is, but Batman doesn't really want to get hit, you know what I'm saying? If he doesn't have to, he won't. Instead, I feel like Batman would just use the environment to wear Jason down. Like, if this fight takes place in Crystal Lake, Batman could just use the knowledge of the terrain. Like, he could just set up traps and lure Jason into them. Easy peasy. He could even explode stuff that could fall around him. But then again, Jason has survived gunshots and severe injuries, but he's still susceptible to head trauma. Now, Batman would wait for this moment, using his superior speed to dodge Jason's attacks until he finds an opening. Yeah, one punch with the gauntlet from Batman is sending you straight to sleep. Now, since Batman won't actually kill Jason because he doesn't kill people whatsoever, that's his #1 rule, Batman would just use chains to keep Jason into the lake. And not just any type of chains, these will be industrial chains. The most expensive chains that money can buy, because Bruce is a freaking billionaire. Or maybe just throw him in Arkham Asylum with like some water from the Crystal Lake. That could probably be a loophole, but nonetheless, Batman is taking him down. But to be honest, I would have to put Jason at S tier, to be honest. Next, we have Michael Myers. Now, you guys are probably wondering, what version of Batman are we using? Now, for this, we're using any version of Batman, so just comp Batman. Now, Michael Myers is a different threat. Now, I guess you could say Michael Myers is calculated. He stalks his victims in silence, striking them when they least expect it at all. But here's the problem for Michael. Batman is the master of stealth. If anyone can outmaneuver the boogeyman in the shadows, it's the Dark Knight. I mean, hey, it's literally in the name, the Dark Knight. So Batman would 100% recognize that Michael isn't just an ordinary killer. And then he also doesn't feel pain like a normal person. He took how many gunshots to the chest in that movie and then fell off a balcony? Yeah, dude can't feel pain at all. He just walked that off like nothing happened. But Michael is also pretty slow. He just walks. You never really see him running, and his movements are very slow as well too. But then again, he always catches up to you when you're running. So he's kind of like a supernatural. But it's kind of crazy that Michael is human in the first film, although I completely disagree and think he's supernatural, but we'll just leave him at human in this scenario. I feel like Batman would try to out-stalk Michael. Like, Batman would use Haddonfield's dark alleyways, or even abandoned warehouses, or even his home. Like, he would bait Michael into chasing him, because once Michael locks onto a target, he does not give up until they're dead. Let's be real. Take Laurie Strode, for example. It's been years and bro hasn't given up. Then when Michael's finally on his tail and gets to see Batman in all his flesh and glory, boom, he's gone. But then again, when it's all said and done and Batman has him unconscious, he has to restrain him 110%, because Michael does not give up at all. I feel like grappling hooks could restrain him. If not, maybe just a strong tranquilizer, and then take Michael back to Gotham and throw him in the Arkham Asylum where he belongs. Because Michael's been in institutions before, so I mean, Arkham Asylum would just be a more heavily guarded asylum for him. So where do I put Michael Myers from 1978? To be honest, since it's Michael Myers from 1978, I don't really think he poses that much of a threat, and in all honesty, I would have to throw him at B tier. Next, we have our boy Springtrap. Now, William Afton's decayed body combined with the advanced mechanics of Spring Bonnie's suit, it grants him unnatural durability. Like, he can withstand immense damage. But while Springtrap may be super tough, he is not totally invincible. And Batman, being the genius he is and having really good understanding of both technology and the supernatural, would give him the edge in this fight 100%. So from the moment Batman encounters Springtrap, he would immediately begin analyzing his opponent, searching for weaknesses. The first and most obvious flaw is in the animatronics programming. Springtrap's suit has a built-in movement tracking that reacts to certain audio cue. It's like a remnant of the original purpose in the Fazbear Entertainment establishment. So Batman would quickly detect this and use it to his advantage. But Batman wouldn't just stop there. Through more of his research, he would know that Springtrap's most critical weakness is fire, and the intense heat weakens his supernatural remnant, like the energy keeping him alive. Batman, understanding this, would set up a trap to ensure Springtrap's permanent downfall. Now this one is kind of hard because Batman would kind of have to kill Springtrap. Then again, Springtrap always comes back, so then Batman would have to come get him again. So this one, to be honest, for Batman and all the things that he has to go into just to get Springtrap to stop, is going to take a lot of stuff. So to be honest, I'll throw Springtrap in S tier, I'm not gonna lie. Next, we have our boy Art the Clown. So Art the Clown is very unpredictable, which makes him nearly unstoppable. And he's also immortal. Did I forget to mention that? And he can also recover from fatal wounds, but he can feel pain just like a human. Art may be this scary guy, but Batman has faced nightmares before and won, and he's not just gonna be scared of some guy in a clown costume. Now, in a direct fight with Art the Clown, this would kind of be interesting because Art has random attacks that make him unpredictable, but Batman has also fought worse. He's fought assassins, metahumans, and even mind-controlled warriors. Like, Batman is going to beat Art's ass 110%. There's no doubt in my mind. But since Art is completely unpredictable, he might just whip out a handgun or throw out a grenade. You never know, in Terrifier 4 he might just whip out some crazier stuff. But we'll go off what we already know now. If he whips out a handgun, that's not really going to do anything to Batman's armor whatsoever because bullets just bounce off Batman's armor. So a little handgun from Art the Clown isn't going to do anything to the Batman. Now, this is going to be pretty easy for Bruce, but the one thing that's going to be very hard is trying to, stop him, because you can't kill Art the Clown, even though Batman doesn't kill, but since he can't die, it's gonna make this hard for Batman. So Art would have to be locked in like some reinforced containment unit. Like, he would have to be buried beneath Arkham Asylum or even sealed in an escape-proof vault. Like, I don't know, Batman would have to come up with something very smart to even keep this guy just stationary and away from everybody. But then again, Batman always finds a way, and yeah, he kinda is F tier. He really doesn't stand any threat to Batman whatsoever. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, I'm going to put Michael Myers in A tier. Okay, yeah. Next, we have Freddy Krueger. Now, Freddy Krueger low-key presents Batman with one of the biggest challenges on this list. And not just because of his physical strength. This means that Batman would lose access to his combat skills and usual gadgets that he uses in, everyday scenarios, as the Dream Realm operates under its own rules. However, Batman's greatest strength in this battle is his mind, because he has one of the strongest and most disciplined minds in the DC universe. He's literally spent years training himself to resist psychological manipulation, fear, and trauma. So Freddy's typical mind games would have a much harder time working on Batman. So first of all, Batman's mental resilience would allow him to quickly recognize that he's trapped in a dream, like right off the bat. But unlike most victims who always succumb to Freddy's twisted creations inside the dream world, Batman wouldn't really be too easily manipulated by his nightmares. Like, once he becomes fully aware of the situation, there's no doubt in my mind that Batman would just take control of the dreamscape. But with all that being said, inevitably Batman will get him out of the dream world and put him into the real world, and that'll just be GG. And since Freddy is already dead, there's a loophole right there. Just finish the job, technically. And with Freddy, honestly, I would put him at the top of A tier, or we could put him in S tier because of the dreamscape reality. Honestly, I feel like we should put him at the middle right there. Yeah, honestly, that makes more sense. Or yeah, let's put Jason in A tier, because these guys have like supernatural abilities, and these guys are humans in their early films, so it makes sense. And last but not least, we have our boy Chucky. So Chucky may be crafty and dangerous, but when it comes to taking on the Batman, I mean, come on, he's severely outmatched. The greatest strength that I see in Chucky is his ability to catch people off guard, because he's just so small. Really, just his small size is really his greatest ability, or his greatest strength. Because if we go with the lore, Chucky has the strength of a fully grown adult, which I will give it to him. That is kind of a plus because he is so small, and if he had the strength of an adult, like, I feel like that would catch Batman off guard. He would just square it with Chucky, and then Chucky would give him an old 1-2, and he'd be like, damn, he can actually hit. And also, Chucky has his cute little knife, and I'll give him this. It's pretty effective against unprotected victims, and it's also useless against Batman's armored suit. Like, that's not gonna pierce through anything. So yeah, Chucky's small size, even though it's one of his best strengths, in my opinion, I feel like it would just be his biggest disadvantage in a fight with Batman, someone who actually knows how to fight. Then again, Chucky is not no ordinary doll, and since Batman doesn't kill, I mean, technically Charles Lee Ray is already dead. So Batman, with his already extended knowledge of the supernatural, would investigate the voodoo magic that allows Charles Lee Ray souls to possess it. Like, Batman would find a way to destroy the supernatural connection between Ray's soul and the doll. So he technically isn't killing Chucky. He's just completely stopping the cycle forever. To be honest, I'll put him F tier and put Art the Clown at B tier. And yeah, this is the tier list. Did I cook or not?